Hi guys, Owen from Owen Thomas Woodcraft here again in my workshop, and we are on to part 2 of the flask turning. So this time I'm going to be showing you how I do the hollowing, and we'll also be seeing how to fit the cap, and we will be doing all the little bits of carving necessary to finish it off. So I hope you enjoy it. If you haven't seen part 1, there'll be a link down in the description, so you can start from the very beginning. Yeah, so let's get to work. Okay, so I have now turned as much as I'm going to turn on that axis at the moment. So hopefully you can see that I've shaped the spout. This bit's going to be the handle. And these bits at the bottom are going to be the feet. Hopefully this will all make sense once we start turning in the other plane. It's going to remove some of this, some parts of the feet, so it will all start forming. These are a super 3D bit of turning. It's quite complex, but that is why I enjoy it. So I'm going to knock out the mandrel and remount it in the face here, again being super careful to drill in really square, because if I drill for the mandrel at an angle, it's going to throw off all of the goodness that I've just done in this plane. So cross your fingers for me. Let's do it. You'd have just seen me start shaping the second axis of the flask. So what I'm doing here is trying to match these two surfaces so that the flask looks even, and also trying to get the point where the top finishes the same both sides.
So that's, I'm pretty happy with that at the moment. Next bit is to start with the hollowing. So I've just, hopefully you can see there. Nope. I've just started forming a little rim in there. Now I'm going to get on to the hollowing. So I use a few special tools for this. They're actually the same as I use for nesting. But you might notice that the flask wheel is going to spin in different directions. This is quite key to getting the undercut with the tools that I have. So some of the cutting I'm going to be doing in the normal rotation. Some of it I'm going to be doing in reverse. So keep an eye out for that. Yeah, time to get hollowing. Right, that's all the hollowing done. So you can see that I've just cleaned out the inside and the back, and I've drilled the hole for the spout. It's important that you do that before you put the cap on, because it's a lot easier to get all the dust and wood shavings out through the nice big hole than it is to try and tip it all out just through the spout. So the next stage now is to make the bit for the cap. So I'm going to be splitting out another piece of wood using part from the same tree, so that it's about the same moisture content, which is, I think, is quite important when you are drying it. Because if it's drier, the risk is that it won't shrink as much, and you could crack the body of the flask. So yeah, going to get another little bit out. It's going to be in the same orientation as I showed you for the flask, with the growth rings running as straight as you can get across it. And yeah, then I'll start turning it. Right, so I've got the cap made here. I still need to trim the little nubbin off the base and take it off of the mandrel. But as I've been working, I've been testing it to make sure that it fits nicely into the flask body. It's a bit of a tricky one. This is you're very reliant on feel and experience to know whether it's going to actually push in or not. I'm not going to push it in fully yet because I still have some tidying up to do on it, but you can see here that is going to fit in pretty neatly. So I'm going to clean off the top and the inside of it. Then I'm going to squeeze the whole lot together with my vise. Sometimes you can get if you get them really nice, you can just squeeze them in with your hands. I did try a couple of times tapping them in with my hammer, but I think that's a lot more risky. You run a lot higher risk of splitting the body of the flask. But I'm pretty confident on this one, so I'm going to give it a tidy up, and then we'll squeeze it together. So when you're putting the cap in, just make sure you've got as much dust as you can out from the inside, and put the cap in with the grain running along the same lines as the flask. So I'm just placing it in there in about the right place. It's quite tight there. Now I'm going to open up the vise, just give it a squeeze and make sure that it's all nicely located. Alright, that is it. So now I've got some tidying up on the outside to do. I know I turned these, but usually what I do is carve with a knife or a chisel, just to make that all nice and smooth. I'll trim this bottom part off here, and I'm also going to form some this part into a couple of thinner little lugs sitting either side of the spout, so that we can put a little strap through there.
Right guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you found it interesting. Like I said at the very start, there is pretty much no information out there about how to turn a flask. There's the old video by Stuart King that I will put a link to down in the description. That's pretty much it. So I hope you have enjoyed this first of a kind video here on my YouTube channel. I'm happy to say that the flask has already been snapped up and it's gone to live with Mike Abbott, my old chair making mentor, grandfather of green woodworking in the UK. So I'm really pleased about that. I hope he and his wife get a lot of enjoyment from it, because that's why I make all these things. Really, is for other people to have lovely things. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, drop a subscribe. That would be lovely. And yeah, I will be making more videos soon. Keep an eye out for them. So all that leaves is for me to say goodbye. See you next time. Stay sharp and stay positive.